Welcome back to Soft Talk. Today, let's talk about overcoming the arrested development of the regional bloc, that is, the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Welcome to the program. This sapien is aware that his line of argument in this piece, it may seem laughable. At its worst, it may even set the cat among the pigeons, or both. So be it. As the South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation turns 40, several intellectuals in Nepal, they are quite busy. They have a field day these days. They are busy calling for the revival of the regional bloc, originally consisting of Nepal, Bangladesh, Bhutan, the Maldives, India, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka. It was established in Dhaka on December 8, 1985, with the main, I say, rather lofty goal of promoting peace, stability, amity, and progress in South Asia for the welfare of the peoples of the region. If this sacred mantra like, if these sacred mantra like words were to indeed revive the 8 member strong bloc, that is, after the inclusion of Afghanistan in 2007, in this day and age of another geopolitical flux that is sure to affect us despite our Himalayan isolation, that provides a certain regional power, a much enviable leeway. How nice it would be, the revival which appears unlikely in the foreseeable future, given primarily a perpetual state of enmity between the two powerful members. It would indeed mark a triumph for diplomacy, for Nepal's diplomacy, that is, as a founding member of the bloc headquartered in Kathmandu, and Nepal also happens to be a member, a prominent member of the non-aligned movement. By the way, if you have not subscribed to this channel, I request that you do. We are trying to promote citizen journalism. It is a strain of journalism that is far from corporate feed and corporate greed, as far as you can imagine. Okay, so your support, your likes, your subscription, your comments will just help us further our cause. It will also further, in the meantime, your cause also, because we want to be your true voice. We don't want to be some his or her master's voice. So your support will just help make this venture sustainable in the long run. So consider supporting us. Let's continue. Impossible is nothing, isn't it? So yours truly requests the readers not to take the Nepali version of the art of the impossible and the artisans conducting it lightly, as they have moved the mountains in the past. Bear in mind that this scribbler has called, this columnist has called the revival of the regional bloc unlikely and not impossible. However, as detailing the parakram, that is, a feat no less, of our mandarins would be a voluminous exercise requiring reams of paper, which would cause clearing of large tracts of the rainforest. The sapien chooses not to do it and increase our carbon footprint in this day and age of climate change. As scholars of repute have already written extensively about and spoken profusely about it in very many national, regional, and global fora, thereby contributing to sound pollution in a world already grappling with the crisis of cacophony. The duplication of labor is unwarranted. Let's talk about a world that is uh, with the world that has a nominal carbon footprint. Nepal has a nominal carbon footprint, but it's increasing due to the consumption of like dirty fuels, increasing consumption of dirty fuels. So this picture that I took some years ago, that is of Adinath and its surroundings, provides you like that green treat that you may have been craving for quite some time. Okay, let's continue with our presentation. Anyways, impossible is nothing that in a state that can collapse within 48 hours of an organized youth-led protest, right? Scary, isn't it? No, on the contrary, not exactly for a brave people like us. What do you say, guys? Arrested development. At this point in time, it would perhaps be more contextual to revisit the successes and setbacks of the regional body with a bit of nostalgia in this era of harsh geopolitical realities. In the 1980s, regionalism, it was an in thing, and seven heads of state and government from South Asia, a subcontinent reeling under poverty and political violence, they signed the Charter of the SAARC, that is SAARC and not SHARK, in Dhaka on December 8, 1985, as I told you earlier, outlining the promotion of peace, stability, amity, and progress in South Asia for the welfare of the peoples of the region as the main goal. Lofty ideals, aren't they? But can these ideals survive in this day and age of harsh geopolitical realities? I wonder. The seven member states of the regional bloc at that time, Afghanistan was not part of it, so they reached 8 agreements, including the South Asian Free Trade Area, better known as SAFTA, 6 conventions, including on suppression of terrorism and its additional protocol. One may add to it the summits of the bloc that is most probably past its midlife crisis, given a life expectancy of around 70 years for the region. For the people of the region, it represents, this bloc represents. Okay. The thinking heads of the state have had no dearth at the time of excellent ideas as the regional food bank, regional development fund, the regional seed bank, and a pan-South Asian university. So, at least on paper, they were like quite good. Still, the fact that these ventures still remain pretty much in their infancy shows that we as a region are more of a talker than a doer. While strolling around at a chess park in Kathmandu, this sapien has a traffic jam in his mind as he sees a deaf player arrange his kills in that apple pie order: the knight, the bishop, the rook, and then the queen. Even as geopolitics get choppier by the minute, in 5 minutes or so, the serial killer, I'm sorry for using this word, uh, but in a light vein, the serial killer wins, obviously. A measly score for the grandiose body in the midst of geopolitical great games. This makes this South Asian a tad too sad. So he dares add that altogether 18 summits of the bloc have already taken place, which again is no mean feat, given primarily the hostilities between the two arch rivals of the region. Invoke the deities. Invoke the deities. While this sapien has immense faith in our well-oiled diplomatic machinery and the mandarins in charge, he wonders with all humility if invoking our deities, both based close to the SAARC headquarters and afar, through our unique, time-tested tantric rituals, can bring back a comatose SAARC back to life and make up for the lost years. It may be wishful thinking or may not be. Who knows? Let's give it a try, I say. All right? This sapien, the uninitiated in the fine art of diplomacy, asks the generals of Bhadrakali, well versed both in the art of peace and the art of war, and the civilians of the Lion Palace to give it a thought. Our mandarins, they are known the world over for their diplomatic finesse, need not worry if this works, for it will still be their victory and the victory of the Nepalese strain of the art of the impossible. With this remark, I wrap up this edition of Soft Talk. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.